15th of January, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Try to figure out what this pasuk has to do with the gezel of this field. That's the because it's not so clear what the pasuk that's that Rabbi Eliezer is bringing over here has to do with the gezel of the field. We have to find that in the pasuk. But that's the direction that the Gemora is taking us in. And just to remind us what we're doing over here, we're on Kuf Yud Zayin Amud Beis. We read the Mishnah about the river washing out and making a field unusable. That's what I thought actually that was what the Nile River did. It went its banks, and then that made the irrigation of all the all the fields. It was good, but I guess maybe they knew how to control the water and direct it, and that was the whole the genius of the irrigation. But otherwise, if it's not set up in that way, it could cause great damage to the fields. I don't know. Here the Mishnah is talking about Shotva Nahar, and this water is causing great damage and ruination of the field to such an extent that the issue is whether the gazlan that gazled the field is going to have to, and the washing out of the river and the ruining of the field took place when the gazlan was in the he had the gazled field in his under his control, I guess. That's called his gezela. And so now the question is, if he's going to have to make hashava, is he going to have to do heshivas agzela over here? And what that means is because this field is now useless. Is he going to be able to? Is he going to have to give him a different field, or is he going to be able to say, "Here's your field," meaning to say he's not going to have to give him another field? Okay, so this is Kuf Yud Zayin Amud Beis. That's what it says in the Mishnah. The Mishnah says that the Tana of the Mishnah says that he doesn't have to make hashava. He does not have to give him a new field. The Gemara then brings a brisa, which we see it's a machlokes tanoim between Rabbi Eliezer and the Chachamim. Gozel sada mechavero shotva nahar chayiv lahamidlo sada acher, according to Rabbi Yishmael. I got Rabbi Yishmael in my head today because we were learning the Nefesh HaChaim. Divrei Rabbi Eliezer. He says that he's got to provide him with a new field because he's got to return what he stole. And the Chachamim say, here's the field. Here's your field. So now the Gemara is going to ask, what are they arguing about? Why does one say he doesn't have to return, and the other one says he does have to return? And it's going to boil down to how it is that Rabbi Eliezer darshans the psukim in Parshas Vayikra. he's going to darshan them a certain way, a certain method of derivation called the riboy miut riboy, and Rabbanan are going to take those same psukim and darshan them in a way of klal uprat uklal, and that is going to account for the differing way that they darshan the pasuk, the different method of derivation that they use in darshaning the pasuk, whether it's riboy miut riboy like Rebbe Eliezer, or whether it's klal prat klal like it is according to Rabbanan. That's going to account for the difference of whether they need to provide the Goslin a new field or he doesn't not need to do that. Okay, so but first I would like to look inside into this pasuk over here in Vayikra and see if we could see where there's a reference to the mitzvah of returning a stolen article. This pasuk is in Vayikra, chapter Perik Hay, chapter 5, pasuk Chaf Aleph, 21. Vayikra 5:21.
It's on the Torah or side.
Sorry, the Yikra what?
It's on the Torah or on the side of the page.
The Yikra.
Roy, it's on 117B4, footnote number 33.
Oh, all right.
Okay, so the pasuk itself says nefesh kisefta umala mal bashem, person that does a chait and he sounds like he's guilty of me'ila, of appropriating consecrated property. Then it says kichesh ba'miso, and he denies the claim against him in regard to a pikadon or sesumas yad, a loan, or begazel, or something that he stole, or oshak esamiso, or he withheld. Rashi says withheld wages to a worker, and then it goes to chaf beis, all sorts of other types of Motza Aveda, the Kicheshbo, he found a he found a lost article, and then he denied finding it. V'nishba al shaker, and then he swore falsely on it. Al achas mikol asher yasa adam lachto behena. All of these things that the person did a chaitin. Now, in this pasuk Chaf Gimel, maybe here's what we're looking for. Vayaki yefte v'yashem v'heshiv es hagzela asher gozal. So there we have a reference of returning a article that he stole. So when he will when he'll do a chait, and he will be guilty, and he will return, then he's mandated, the Torah says, to return the gezel that he gazeled. Now this presumably would be doesn't matter. Doesn't need to have sworn falsely about anything. It just it's a bit confusing. The pasuk is seems to be mixing up the gosling something with swearing falsely. So it's a bit confusing at first glance, or maybe even the second glance. We see it's still confusing, but here we do see a reference to returning a stolen article, among the other things that it mentions also in the pasuk. Oshek asher ashak, or pikadon, or an aveda. Okay, so there's our reference to gezel. So this is why both Rabbi Eliezer and the Chachamim are referencing these psukim over here, and they're going to be darshaning these psukim. So we're going to see from the way that they darshan the psukim, is the pasuk, and now the question is like this. The question is like this: in regard to this mitzvah that it says over here of gazling and then returning that which you gazled, what type of an article is the pasuk include for this mandate that the pasuk is saying to return the article that was gazled? What type of article are we talking about? And that is going to be the subject of the drushes of Rabbi Eliezer and the Rabbanan. Okay, so let's go again from B'mai Kamifligi. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines from the bottom of Kufyud Zayin Amud Beis. It's easier than that. Just take a look at the Mishnah is only one line. It's a one-line Mishnah, and then go down 2 lines from that line of the Mishnah, and you'll see the words in the middle of the line, B'mai Kamifligi. We read this yesterday, but let's read it again, and we'll get more understanding, and then we'll go to the Rabbanan and see how the Rabbanan differ with Rabbi Eliezer. Everybody got the place? B'mai Kamifligi? Roy, you got the place? Okay, would you like to read?
No, I haven't got the place yet. It's just after the
We want, yeah, you want 117B4 on the right paragraph.
all right. Gemai call. Oh, right. Everyone knows all the time. Okay, the Gemara presents a basis for their dispute. In what point in what points they disagree? Rabbi Eliezer, the Rosh Rabbi Umiute, Rabbi Eliezer expounds scripture in the method of amplifications and limitations. He applies this to the scriptural passage that teaches the obligation to return stolen objects. The Kichesh Miso Revoy. When the verse states, and he lies to his fellow, with regards to deposit or loan, it is an amplification of the class of items that can be acquired through stealing. By generalizing, the verse tells us that anything at all, even land, can be acquired through the act of theft. I'm turning over to 117b5. Befikudan, Miyat. When the verse continues regarding a deposit of or a loan, it limits this class of items. By mentioning specific items, the verse tells us that not everything can be acquired through stealing.
Okay, so the issue over here is can one make a acquisition through Gezela of all items? So from Kichesh Bamiso, it would include all items. But now it's limited by the word Pikadon. It doesn't include all items. Not all items are capable of being acquired through theft, such that they would be therefore liable for hashava. Okay. Now we go to the next part. The last part of this mode of derivation is starts from the words kol asher yishova alav lashaker.
Where's that? Kol asher. Oh, I see. I've got in brackets there too, or Mikol, or just Mikol. Anyway, Kol asher yeshova olav lishter hazer Ribot. When the verse states or regarding anything about which he swears falsely, again it amplifies the class of items that can be acquired by theft. With Ribo Umeat Ribo, the rule is that where the Torah amplifies, limits, and then amplifies again, Riboy Akol, it means to include everything in the relevant law with only a single exception. For my Rabbi, what then did the Torah include with its amplifications in this passage? Rabbi Kol Milei. It included all things, even land, in the laws concerning the return of a stolen object. All stolen things have to be returned before they can all be acquired by stealing. Mayat, and what is the one thing that the Torah excludes through its limitations of regarding a deposit? Mayat Shetoros. It excludes documents, which are the things least similar to the items mentioned in the verse.
Okay. Okay. So, right, even though we don't see any words whatsoever in the pasuk that have anything to do with Gezela, we saw that the pasuk Chav Gimel afterwards talks about returning a stolen article. So we're supposed to understand that this is one parsha that is mixing together a lot of different things that could have happened, and including swearing falsely on an item that was given as a pikadon, if it was found, and also if something was stolen for some reason, which I don't understand at this point. The psukim are all mixing all these different cases together. So it's just so in other words, and to identify what is regarded as an item that's capable of being stolen, and therefore, if it's an item that is capable of being stolen, is therefore also an item which has to be returned, because any item that was stolen, it has to be returned. That's what the pasuk says. It's got to be returned, the item that you stole. But the question, the question is the item capable of being stolen? Are all the items that there are capable of being stolen? So this pasuk is limiting items that are capable of being stolen because it has one exception of shtaros. Shtaros cannot be stolen, and therefore there's no obligation for the return of the stolen shtar, because it's not called stolen. The pasuk is not talking about shtaros, but we do see that if that's the only thing that the psukim are excluding, they are not excluding karka. So according to this drasha, karka is capable of being stolen, and therefore it has to be given back. And so therefore, if something happened to it in the interim, such as a nahar with shatva and ruined it, so that'll mean that the one that stole the karka has got to replace it. So he has to have to give another piece of karka. So that'll be the view of Rabbi Yishmael. That's what it says in the Brisa according to Rabbi Yishmael. And the Gemora is presenting this as a suggestion that this is the way Rabbi Yishmael holds, because he darshans the psukim in this particular derivation of ribui, miut, and ribui. Okay. And we read the Rashis yesterday. If you'll ask a good question, you'll say, well, why does it have to do with excluding shtaros? What's wrong with shtaros? Why did it exclude shtaros? So Rashi is addressing himself to that question, and Rashi says that shtaros ein gufon mamun. A shtar is a weird type of a thing. It's really basically a piece of paper. It doesn't really have any intrinsic value of its own, other than like you say, it's not worth this contract is not worth the price of the paper it's written on. It's just a piece of paper. It's not worth anything. So therefore. So even though it's very valuable to have possession of such a thing, because it brings a proof that you own this item, or that there is a contract, or that there is a loan that's being made, it's very, 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 very important.
You're muted, Rabbi.
Okay. So yeah, that's basically the point.
Near where the yeshiva is. It's near where we used to go to yeshiva.
Okay, so that's Rashi's explaining why it was. In other words, Chazal are saying that they see room in the pasuk to exclude one item, and that's the one item that they saw fit to exclude, shtaros, but not karka, because karka is intrinsically value. It has intrinsic value.
Rabbi Moore's mother passed away. The funeral was at 2:30 today.
Okay, so let's go on to the Rabbanan. Rabbanan darshe klale uprate.
Yeah. 26 Shamgar.
Phil, you want to read?
Let me get the place here in the Gemora. I see the place in the art scroll. It starts with Rabbanan darshe klale prat.
Right.
Okay. So that's not a different thing, right? The other one,
Yeah, this is
the other one, ribui and ma'ut, and this is not calling it ribu ma'ut. This is calling it a klal and prat, a generalization and a specific instead.
Yeah, this is a different mode of derivation, and so it's going to, since it has different rules of deriving, and therefore we're going to come out with a different result, because the Rabbanan are going to darshan these psukim, the same psukim, in the way of klal prat uklal.
I just need to interrupt for a second. I just got a call from Rabbi Moore. His mother is passed away.
Oh, Baruch Dein Emes.
Yeah, so the funerals are today, 2:30, 26 Shamgar.
Okay.
All right, just wanted to let you know. I have to excuse
Very
myself
good.
for a second. I have to go make some calls.
Okay. Okay, so let's read Rabbanan darshe klale uprate.
The Rabbanan hold it. The Rabbanan hold it. It's a differently. They hold it's a whatchamacallit, it's a generalization of specific. Ukuchash, that he denies it, or he makes a false claim of it. That's the klal. That's the general case, and the picadone is the prat, and the picadone, the deposit amount, would be considered specific. Okay, so it's the same two words, but it's a different level of a different way of. It's not calling it a ribu and a mood. Okay, so how does that affect it? Okay, or mikol chazar, or everything that returns. Uklal, uprat. And it's a from anything, chazar is a klal. That would be a generalization. And now it's a klal, uprat, uklal. So now we're giving it even a third thing. We're calling it a klal prat and klal, a generalization, specification, and now back to a generalization. If you only, make a ruling, ella ke'ain prat, like things that are like in the specific, maha prat. What's the prat? Hamit mitaltal, metaltalim, movable items are the things that are considered the specific items. That of course does not mean land to be part of that. Gufo, and the main part of it is mammon, is money.
Oh,
In all moving things, the gufo is money. The thing would be all the moving things should be something that has a value. It's a karka would exclude from it land, because it's not considered metaltalin. And then also Yatsa also excludes avadim, shehuka shalakarka. So because avadim are considered, there's a hekesh between avadim and karka. They're in the same status of karka. Yatsa shtarot, and that would exclude the documents. She'afal b shemaltalin, even though they are considered metaltalin, ain goof on money. Their value, their main part is not money.
And go for moment, yeah. Okay, so just one word of explanation over here. If you take a look at the words that are being darshaned, you see the first word that both the Chachamim and Rabbi Eliezer were darshaning in the pasuk was kichesh bamiso. So that's referred to as a general categorization. Why is it done? Why is it referred to in that way? Because it just says, and he denied it. What's it that he denied? Anything. It could be anything. It doesn't specify, and therefore it does not limit. So therefore both of them they chose that expression in the pasuk as an indication that there is the part of the pasuk that we're going to designate as, according to Rabbi Eliezer, he darshans it as a riboy. According to the Rabbanan, they darshan it as a klal. But it includes everything. Then, when they get to further on in the pasuk, it mentions bipikadon. So we see, we're not talking about everything. We're talking about we're talking about specific things. So that is a language of miut, a language of prat, of specifying and not including everything. And then, when later on in a different pasuk, actually, it's in Chav Daled, it says, "O mikol asher yeshava alav l'sheker." We're darshaning from the fact that it says, "Mikol, O mikol asher yeshava alav," anything that he makes a false oath about. So again, that expression of anything that he makes a false oath about, mikol, that is an expression of including everything. So that's why, and so that's the way the Torah is talking, and that's the way we're darshaning with these two modes of derivation. And the reason that they come out with a different result is because there's a difference between the riboy miut riboy and the klal prat klal. The difference is that you can see in the case of the riboy miut riboy, it's the way that it works is that the miut just took out one thing, or actually no, it doesn't. Yeah, how does it work exactly? The first riboy includes everything. Then the miut after that limits the riboy. only to things that are comparable to the miyut. And then the riboy after that, Chazav Rabba, includes everything, but it doesn't. It includes everything. So now, the only thing that we're going to be left with as an exclusion is the thing that was the prat itself. I'm sorry, not the prat. I'm using the wrong word. The mute itself. Only things that are like that mute. And so as a result of that, the only thing that's excluded according to Rebbe I wanted to say Yishmael again, but I caught myself this time. Rebbe Eliezer, only thing that he's going to end up excluding is just a category of things that are not gufo mammon. That's what Rashi told us. Miyut shtaros, because they Nair ba'alma. It's just a basically essentially worthless piece of paper. Its monetary value is how much would it cost to buy a piece of paper like that? It's practically worthless. Okay. But according to the Chachamim, according to Rabbanan, the Rabbanan darshan this mode of derivation. It's called a klal prat klal, and klal prat klal is when you have the klal at the end. It includes everything which is similar to the prat. So as a result of that, we end up having a categorization of we call it. It has two characteristics. It's a davar which is metaltel, meaning it's a movable item, so that knocks out karka. It's not movable, and that it's gufa momon, and that knocks out shtaros as well. So according to the Rabbanan, the mode of derivation is excluding more things, and therefore it's going to exclude also karka, not just shtaros. And so therefore, these psukim, which are talking about among other things, they're also talking about returning items that were stolen. So according to Rabbanan, it doesn't that mandate to return stolen karka. The pasuk doesn't mandate to return stolen karka, and so therefore that's why the Chachamim are going to say, "Arei shelcha lefanecha." You don't have to return anything. According to Rebbe Eliezer, you are going to have to return, and since this piece of karka that he stole is worthless now, he's going to have to replace that with a comparably piece of karka from the time that he stole it. Okay.
Okay. Take care.
All the best. Besuras toibos, Yeshuos v'nechamois.
All right. Have a good day, everybody.
Yeah, be well.